All right. So something that is really important to do when you're working with visual Miro boards this big is that you really want to be grouping your content into related smaller groups. If we take just as a first example, these kind of tips and cards over here. So I've got them all as individual groups. I don't really like to group them as a three because I like to have control over the individual elements. And I find it, doing that to select all of the groups is fine. What is not fine is if I weren't to have grouped them, I'm then working with all of these different elements and I'm working with them in amongst other elements like the roads and the paths if I don't have them locked. So sometimes you will find that by click and dragging you're going to select another element and then you have to unselect that element. So it's really good practice to group content that belongs together for any Miro board. Doesn't even matter if it's a big visual one, group your content. And you can do it with this contextual menu here, group objects, or you can right click and you can't anymore. But you can also learn the shortcut, which is a really good idea, which would be Command on a Mac or Control on Windows. And you just press Command or Control and then plus G. And then to ungroup it, you can press the ungroup icon here, or it would be the Command or Control and then Shift key and G. I'm a big fan of learning the most commonly known shortcuts because once your fingers just get used to it and it's autopilot, it just makes life so much easier than all of those clicks. Same with in terms of grouping content. So for example, over here, I've kind of grouped the trees together so that they're easy to move, especially when I'm designing or maybe adding new content in. I'm going to want to expand areas and that means moving pieces. And it's so much easier if you have them grouped together. Again, I don't like to do really big groups. So probably the biggest kind of group, even here, I would, and I've not done it yet, but I would group one half of it. I'm going to select all of these. Of course, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to click and drag because actually I have some elements locked. But if I didn't have elements locked, clicking and dragging is going to probably select some paths and roads. And I'll maybe take those trees in as well. And let's put those trees in too. So then if I needed to make more space, I just have to do it like that rather than, selecting lots of individual elements. It's not very fun at all. And the last example would be, I would definitely think that rooms and walls, you want to be grouping those content together, normally on a side. And then, unless you know that it's fixed, then you can group the whole thing together. I hope that this is helpful. It certainly helps me with my workflow in Miro when I'm designing these big boards. Enjoy.